Okay, beautiful ladies of my heart, I am here to do an update on BANISH. They have some new micro stamping tools to go with the original. This is the 0.5. Okay, now they have a 0.25 for around the eyes and sensitive areas. They have the 5 that I just showed you, which is good for face, neck, back of hands, and hairline. I will demonstrate all of these. And then they have the 1.0 for body, stretch marks, scars, dark spots, whatever. For those that aren't familiar, it's the first time you've seen it, this is a brief recap of why microneedling is so wonderful. These micro wounds trigger the skin's natural healing response, which produces new collagen to soften fine lines and wrinkles and hyperpigmentation. They're good for acne scars. Never use on active acne or on keloid scars. They don't work on keloid scars. Now, you start, as always, with clean, dry skin. Your area is very clean and your heads are clean by you put alcohol, rubbing alcohol in this. Put this on and let it set for 5 minutes. You take it off, you let it air out and dry for about 60 seconds to 2 minutes. All right, that's how you do the heads. You want to do a patch test, so you'll just stamp it in one area and see how your skin reacts. Wait at least 15-30 minutes to make sure that you're not having a severe reaction to it. And if you have rosacea, they say to also test on there. I guess it can make your rosacea worse. I have rosacea, well, minimal now, and it doesn't seem to exacerbate it, so I'm good there, but it's personal choice. All right, now, BANISH uses gold-plated, I don't have it memorized, gold-plated thin titanium bristles. Based on research by BANISH, gold is a great stimulant to accelerate the healing process. Gold has antimicrobial properties, antimicrobial, I said it, properties to help your BANISH head stay clean longer. And I am going to be demonstrating what each one of these does and where. First, I'll just do a little quick synopsis of what each one does. So the 0.25 is very, very teeny. Very, very teeny heads. Here's a picture. So those could be used around sensitive areas, and that's like around the eyes and anywhere like that, or any place you find it's real sensitive, maybe the nose. I know on the forehead, when you see the demonstration, that they're better for my forehead. So wherever you have sensitivity, you want to use those. Then the 0.5 is the original one, and those are, as I said, face, neck, and back of hands, and around the hairline. Now, when you use it around the hairline, you can only use it one time, and then you'll have to get rid of the head. I'll go into that in more detail. But you stamp it. If you're noticing hair loss, it'll help promote hair growth. And so, as I said, that needle can only be used once. I don't do it because I feel like I'm pretty good now that I quit coloring my hair. So the body, the chest, stretch marks, scars, dark spots, except for the keloid scars, it's a great tool to use there. Next, I'm going to show you the demo. But first, I want to explain a couple of things. I saw one influencer that she took the head and she pokes it once, stamps, not pokes, and turns it. She does 3 in each area by turning it. That was very complicated for me, and I found myself turning it before I lifted it off. So I found it easier to stamp 3 times in one spot and then turn it and do 3 times in one spot, turn it again, if you get my gist like that, because that's how I demonstrated it. All right, so let's talk about the 0.25. Now, I used it around my eyes. As again, I don't recommend the stamping that I did, but I was trying. I'm going a little fast motion. And then it was really good around my nose. It was easy to do on my nose. It didn't cause any, that's a tender area for me, and around the eyes. So I'm showing 3 times and stamp it. So I would stamp it 3 times, lift it up, and then turn it. Yeah. So that's voila. I'm really making sure. There you go. Okay. So you can do that 3 times a week, and it's good for 8 uses if you're just using it around your eyes, a specific area. Like this is a specific area. Maybe these are 2 specific areas. I don't know how they count it, but this is an area to me, and around my lips and my neck, and then on. There's no limit. Depends on how much time you have. Okay, here's the 0.5. Now, this one is to be used on your head. It's to be used on your face and your neck area. That's considered a session. And I'm starting on my forehead, and I'm trying the, pressing 3 times and turning. But it always makes me do this. That's why it's very hard for me to use that on my forehead. And then you go around your face. Again, if you do 3 times in one spot, you're going to get it done in one pass. All right, and then you can do it around, as I said, your hairline, but I don't do that. Now, the 1.0. I'm going on my neck the same way 3 times in one spot and then turn it 3 times in one area and move it. And you can overlap a little bit. It's not a big deal. But that's how you use the devices, okay? When I talked about changing heads, as I said, with the 0.25, they say 8 uses, and it can be used 3 times a week, every other day. So the 0.5, if you're using it just for the face and neck, it can be used 3 or 4 times. Now, can you be used 8 times? That's what it says on here. If you're only doing one section of your face, a targeted area, then you can use it 8 times. So it says for the 1.0, you can do it 3 times before you change your head, and you only use it on your body once a month. Now, I'm only using it on this area, so I'm only doing that once a month. I'm going to do some more research on why I would only do that once a month. Like if you can use the 0.25 3 times a week and you use the 0.5 once a week, why only once a month for the one head? So I'm going to do some more research in that to see why. Okay, now, the aftercare. Banish's vitamin C dark spot corrector is what they call it, is formulated to be used after microneedling. I want to read to you what it says. So it's their vitamin C formulation, 4% L-ascorbic acid. L-ascorbic acid is the best to use. They have ferulic serums, and it helps lighten dark spots and get that morning glow because it's glycerin based. So it goes on more like an oil, before it takes a little bit to sink in. Now they're freshly made in small batches and shipped directly to you. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I've been using this after, and other products, and I will go over all the BANISH skincare I use in another video. So that is a great one to use after. LED and microcurrent can be used, resume the next day. So LED to me is very mild. It is used for wound healing. So I use it after I microneedle and after my skincare is soaked in. It really feels better to me, but they recommend not till the next day. Now, they do not recommend you use radio frequency or heat lasers for up to 5 to 7 days after. I've used them 3 days after, but that is my personal. You go by the recommendation. As I said, in the packet it has all the instructions. And then, of course, no harsh actives for 24 to 48 hours afterwards, and that's like your glycolic acid. It's like your 20% ascorbic acid, or your tretinoin, and I don't for 24 hours, and then I resume again. And I've had incredible luck with this, and I just can't wait to keep going, and I love these needle heads. I love that they have options with needle head to target areas that you normally couldn't because of the 0.5. So I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait for my journey to keep going. So before Rocket starts barking, I will check into what the 1.0 head and see if that is a written in stone that you can only use it once a month, because I would think at least once a week if you were using it just on the areas that it said. But don't quote me on that until I find out. All right, ladies, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Your summer's on its way. I've got some summer videos coming. Love you.